That was horrible.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga,
I
ooga
can't
chaka,
stop
ooga,
this
ooga, ooga
feeling
chaka, ooga, ooga,
deep
ooga chaka,
inside
ooga, ooga,
me.
ooga chaka, ooga, ooga,
Murdered
chaka,
someone
ooga,
last
ooga,
year.
chaka, ooga,
Now they're
ooga,
after
ooga,
me.
chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga,
When he
ooga,
kills
ooga.
me with
When
his
he's
hook so tight, and I feel like I am on a flight.
I know what you did last summer. Ba, 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 ba.
That was pretty good.
That was not bad. Yeah.
A little cringy.
Little cringy.
And I think we probably lost 40% of the listenership. But for those who are still here,
listen, everybody knows Guardians of the Galaxy, and they love Hooked
That's
on a
the
Feeling.
only time that song has ever been used.
No one's ever used that song any other time.
I don't know if that's true.
That's definitely not true. But
that song's
I
history?
am unfortunately I fall victim to that exact stereotype where the first time I heard the song "Hooked on a Feeling" was from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Listen, I was not well versed in musicality.
Yeah, but that's like a super famous song. It was originally written in 1968 by B.J. Thomas.
You say that like you're looking at a
then-
Wikipedia page right now.
No, I knew that information.
Everybody knows this.
And then it was covered by Blue Suede in 1973. And then in 1974, they released it on an album which popularized the song. And then David Hasselhoff covered it in 1997.
Wait, is Blue Suede's a cover?
Yeah.
It's not even the original?
No.
I didn't know that either.
No,
Damn,
see?
I'm learning a lot
Okay,
about getting hooked on a feeling.
I actually did know that before
I believe that.
this.
I believe that.
But David Hasselhoff covered it in 97. Did you know that?
I did not, and I don't know if I want to hear that.
Hooked on a feeling.
David Hasselhoff.
How does David
Remember when he was in the
Hasselhoff-
SpongeBob movie?
I was just thinking about his boobs.
Remember that episode of SpongeBob? Oh, yeah, his pecs, that move. They're freaky.
They're a machine.
The craziest part about the fact that he was in the SpongeBob movie was for effects like that, they built an entire practical statue figurine
That's
of
insane.
David Hasselhoff. For like,
It's crazy.
we used to put so much effort into movies that like didn't need it. They could have very easily done something else and not had a practical Hasselhoff on the set.
It's so funny that we say that now, but we say that like they didn't need to do this, but then
No.
nowadays when they don't do stuff like that,
Yeah.
we're like, you could have done.
They set a
You
precedent,
could've-
right? It's just
yeah.
so funny, like to think the movies that would go to such lengths.
Yeah,
they used to do that more often. Whereas nowadays they definitely don't do that for movies that absolutely need
And
it.
now they remake movies that have had
Yeah.
3 other iterations.
You remember that episode of SpongeBob where they find fishing hooks all over Bikini Bottom, and Mr. Krabs is like,
good.
don't, yo ho, near the hooks I'll never go. You remember that?
Does he say that?
He does.
That's so good.
It's so good, Derek. You do a better Mr. Krabs than me. Will you please?
yo
give me
ho, wait, Pearl. Oh, yo ho, where the hooks are, I'll never go.
Yes, that's it.
Pearl.
That's exactly what it
My
was.
money. That was pretty good. Like the first half wasn't very good,
now
but I can
imagine-
say money.
Imagine a horror movie, if you will.
A horror movie.
Maybe something that could have been made around, like, I don't know, 1998,
Like
something
Secret
like that. But the killer uses a hook to kill people, and it's Mr. Krabs the entire time.
I'm gonna hook ye.
And he remembers that one time, like last year, in the hotter time of the month when SpongeBob
I know what you did last summer,
SpongeBob took time off of work without. He took like a longer break without telling him.
SpongeBob, me boy. I know you didn't clock out for your break.
I feel like he would like stab with his hook as he says. That's the sound the hook makes as
money.
it penetrates. This is terrible. What if someone made a movie about that?
horrible
What if someone
radio.
killed people with hooks?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I don't know.
What if someone got hooked on a feeling?
Why would you be here talking about it?
Well, because I run a horror podcast because my name is Isaac and you yourself are
Hey, Mr. Derek. I'm Derek.
Mr. Derek Krabs. And
I've
I talk
got
about this.
crabs, they're multiplying. And
Just broadcasting this to the world here. Everybody needs to know
Control.
Derek's got crabs.
I've been combing, they're supplying. It's itchy.
electrifying. SpongeBob, me bobs, my crabs are electrifying.
The crabs talking back.
Yes.
That's disgusting.
They're
I
sentient
don't have
talking
crabs. I would like the world to know that I do not have any STIs.
Derek does not have any crabs, but Derek Krabs and Isaac over here run a little horror podcast we call That Was Horrible, where we do our best
at reviewing the movies.
At reviewing the movies and
Such a bad Mr.
raise
Krabs.
awareness for crabs.
Crabs awareness.
Crabs awareness.
And this week, we are continuing our trend of watching bad movies that are releasing. We just watched
Really
I
soon.
Know What You Did Last Summer.
If that wasn't obvious.
Like, okay, I get we watched a new one, by the way, 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
If you're watching this in 10 years when the next one came out, like,
yeah, who knows?
It's 2025.
Yeah, you're on like I Know What You Did 4 summers ago.
I Know What You Did 6 years ago. I mean, this
I
one
think
was
the
kind of
original
like I Know What You Did 27 years
Yeah,
ago.
because it is a continuation. It's not like a straight up remake, right? Which is really interesting. I like the fact that like the sequel to it is like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which just makes a much.
I Always Knew.
Yeah,
right?
they just keep adding another word to it.
I might know.
I might
It's like someone
potentially
with
know what
dementia.
you could have done last summer. Like they just
might
keep
know.
getting longer.
I could have known, but I didn't go to that party.
What if they get like, you know how like people love to simplify things nowadays? I feel like in a couple of years again they they do a complete remake of it, and I Know What You Did Last Summer is just simplified to I know.
I know.
They just
It's
get
just,
what it says on the
know,
note.
period.
Written in blood and shit. This year has given us a lot of horror
And
movies.
then the next one after that is like someone with really bad grammar. What you did last summer.
What you did last summer. And then there's like a prequel. It's like, what did you do? What are you doing next summer?
And then it's the future where we don't have summer anymore because the ice caps melted and recreated the ice age. It got cold.
And it's just
There was actually a reverse global warming where the world got really cold really fast and there's no summer anymore. So it's like
so it's just some long yearnthul.
Was there summer?
I remember the long months of warmth, the light that would shine upon my skin.
I remember summer.
These are all great titles for it. But no, 2025 has given us a few movies that we are able to talk about on this podcast. New releases of this year. There are also some bangers. We've seen a couple of those. Recently, we just went to go see Together, 2025, starring real-life couple Dave Franco and Allison Brie. Loved them.
Dude, that movie slapped.
It was a good time. I really enjoyed it. And between this and The Substance, like body horror is back, guys, in a major way. And I, for one, am here for it.
Which is crazy because I just watched the new David Cronenberg movie that came out this year as well.
Right. That one has to do with like
Shrouds.
TVs on like headstones.
Yeah, it's like a world in
Cronenberg's
which
a weird guy.
you can watch your partner age in the ground or your family member age in the ground. They wear this thing called the shroud, which is like a full body suit that is a camera. So it it's not like and it like creates a computer generated image of what they look like at any given moment.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just can't think of anyone that would be comforted by this. I would not want to see that.
David Cronenberg, in an interview, said he wrote that story after his wife's death because he had feelings like he wanted to be in the ground with her.
He would
watching
say that.
her.
That's crazy.
Decompose. And then it's so morbid. But then he wrote the character in that movie to be exactly his emotions as he felt that.
God, that is dark, huh?
And basically nothing happens in that movie.
Yeah.
It was really boring.
I was honestly like curious about that because you would watch it. I haven't seen this one yet. But yeah, I was like, okay, so here's the premise. I get that much. What do you do with that? How do you live in that world and make it an interesting enough story that something happens?
And Guy Pearce was in it for some reason, but he was like, it was the most like... It was the most high budget B movie, I think, because it felt like a low budget B movie.
Did it feel very like art house too, though?
It was weird. I don't know. There were like things that worked about it for me. I know a lot of people like it. But I think those people just really like Cronenberg. And I personally do like Cronenberg, which is why I watched it at all.
And I feel like there's lots of people like that who are like, when they love a director so much or an artist in anything, they're willing to forgive even some of their less than great projects.
That's how I am with Mike Flanagan.
Yeah,
right? Like
I still think
think
Guillermo del Toro too. I don't love
sure.
everything he does. Like I don't know how much I love. Shit. What was that one? It was about the bugs, the insects one. It still starts with a C. It's like
Kronos.
No, Kronos was the one about like the that was a different one. Why can't I remember? Shit.
Oh, this makes great radio.
Yeah, this is wonderful radio.
Good thing we're on radio.
Let's listen to Isaac try to remember this movie of his favorite director. It's like Chrysalis or something like that. Some kind of bug cicada. Shit. Why can't I do
I don't know, but I'm
this?
enjoying watching you struggle.
I'm dying inside.
Someone out there is yelling it. I'm looking for it, and I can't even find
Someone
it.
is out there being like, Isaac, please, it's this. It's this. It's like on the tip of my Mimic. That's what it was. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with that.
You even made a second one.
Yeah. But no, the point is, like, when it comes to David Cronenberg, I feel like people are also the same in a similar fashion where they're like, they're willing to forgive certain things.
And
I feel like
you did like Nightmare Alley, which I freaking love.
Nightmare Alley didn't work as well for me.
That movie worked.
I've watched it like 3 times now.
Every ounce of that movie worked for me.
And the weird thing is, it's one of those movies where I'm like, I cannot tell you specifically what it was. There wasn't a thing that I was like, I disliked this part of it. It just like left me wanting in some regard. I don't know what it didn't live up to. I sincerely
think that's like in my top 3 Guillermo del Toro
It's great. It is good. Like that's one of those where I can objectively say it is a good movie. It just like wasn't for me entirely. But I mean, GDT will always give me good stuff.
I saw the note that he wrote at the end of the movie. It said for Isaac.
I know, and I just
dick.
We haven't spoken since then, and things are kind of weird. I'm gonna go to the premiere of Frankenstein. I'm not sure if we're gonna talk to each other. It's gonna be super awkward.
That'd be awesome if you got to go to the premiere of Frankenstein.
But 2025, it's bringing us something like Frankenstein, and right now it brought us I Know What You Did Last Summer, remake of the help me. Is it 1998? Is that when the original one came out? 97. So close.
Which I have never seen any.
No, me either. You know, my largest knowledge of I Know What You Did Last Summer comes from fucking Scary Movie.
Oh my god,
because they do a spoof on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is so silly. They like run over a dude 4 times with the same car.
That's right.
It's such God. I watched Scary Movie within the last like month.
Did you?
It's so goddamn dumb.
I feel like I would have a better appreciation
so
for
dumb.
it now.
Second of all, has not aged well.
I'm sure.
There are some really like there are some where you're like, oh geez, but some that I'm like, oh my, how did they get away with this?
I specifically remember something from Scary Movie 2.
Yeah.
I think it's Scary Movie 2. At least.
Yeah.
The ghost in the bed. That scene, I don't know if you remember that. That scene, I'm positive, has not aged well.
There's one scene specifically in Scary Movie where there's like something of like a trans character, and it is in very, very poor taste.
Oh my god!
Just made me sick thinking about it. But yeah, so that's all I know about this movie. That's all Derek knows about this movie. We did talk about should one or both of us try to watch the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're like, no. Let's go in with a blind set of eyes.
Well, and I was a little hopeful for this movie before I saw reviews of like, maybe it will be good, because this year we've had a Final Destination reboot, which was good. So much ass. I mean, that's in my top movies of the year
it's actually
now.
Surprisingly good. One of my favorite in this series.
I think I rated it 5 stars. Like, that movie really, really worked for me.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
We also had, there's another reboot this year. What was it?
Going through the database to find the remake.
What was it?
I remember because you had mentioned it. You were like, yeah, there's this remake and there's this remake.
Well, there was Saw, Final Destination.
Did they make a new Saw this year?
No, but I mean, like, recently.
Just recent years. Yeah, you're right. We've had some decent reboots coming around.
My point is like, I was like, okay, they're remaking movies right now, and they're working.
They're doing like okay with it, which I'm usually not a fan of. I don't typically like. I mean, I'm just one of those people, and I'm sure a lot of you are out there too, where it's like we just need to learn, one, to let things die and be good and live on in wonderful memory and not touch it anymore, and 2, to be creative and come up with something else.
Yeah,
because that's another thing.
To keep revisiting old franchises,
which we will get into when we actually start discussing the movie. But I, for one, feel like we're in a different time period as far as horror movies go, and especially as slasher movies go, and what works and what doesn't, what worked then and what won't work now. And I feel like just kind of doing a remake of one that like was pretty successful then, I don't know if it'll play quite as well. And we'll get into that once we actually start talking about it.
What movie am I thinking of?
I can't remember, but
am I just thinking of Saw and
I know there was one you had brought
Final
up.
Destination.
I can't think of anything else.
Well,
that was like a reboot remake of something recently.
I'm crazy, man.
Listen, we're running on fumes here. We're tired guys.
We did see this movie last night. Okay, so here's the funniest part about it.
Oh my god, it was great.
We're seeing this movie. I know you did.
The last 10 minutes sucked. It was a black screen. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Cut to black.
We literally had 10 minutes left of the film. The screen goes black.
Mind you, the only showing of this movie was at like 11 o'clock at night. So by this point, it's like 1 a.m.
Absolutely. 11 o'clock. I mean, 10 minutes left of the movie. All of a sudden, the alarm goes off, and an emergency.
A very calm voice telling us that we need to leave the building because there is an alarm telling us to evacuate the building.
What the fuck?
Which is so funny because we were pretty like bewildered and kind of like, what's going on? There were some people at like the top of the theater who fucking started booking it down the stairs.
They were out of there.
Trying to get out of the building as fast as possible.
It didn't help that we were watching a horror movie.
Yeah, of course. Could have been watching something else like... I cannot name a single other movie in theaters right now.
What? Are you okay? Okay?
What's wrong with me, Derek?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't remember any of the movies that are getting rebooted right now.
Nosferatu was a remake.
It technically was a remake.
Yeah.
I just thought there were more...
No, I can't think of anything else.
I don't know. No. Crazy. It was probably... I mean, Hellraiser, technically.
Yeah, that's true. That was a couple years ago. But yeah, we didn't get to finish the movie. We literally got to like, no joke, 7 minutes probably left in the movie. And that was, and then we had to go home and be like, well,
I guess we're done.
Guess we'll watch a shitty bootleg tomorrow.
Yeah, so we did, and we literally missed 4 minutes.
Yeah, but we did miss some stellar dialogue in the movie, of which there is aplenty in this one. Let me tell you, these kids, they know what to talk about.
Yeah, well, let's. You want to just get into it?
Yeah, we can get into it. We can start just chipping away at the old marble here.
I don't know if this is in Count Trivia's trivia, but I'm really upset about it. I need to talk about it.
No, I need to know.
2014, they were like, hey, let's make another I Know What You Did Last Summer. And
did that come to pass?
Mike Flanagan and Jeff Howard signed on to write a reboot. There was going to be a completely new reboot. It wasn't going to be in the same...
So starting from scratch. Okay.
And it fell through.
Could have been. Could have had some greatness in there.
Then there was supposed to be a TV series of this. Yes.
Jeez.
In 2021. Also got canceled.
God damn. Things are getting... This movie's really struggling to happen. A real underdog story.
Yeah.
With I Know What You Did Last Summer.
And then it finally got greenlit in 2023. They announced it. And then... After it was announced and already in development, did they reach out to Freddie Prinze Jr. and
which is wild. You would imagine they would do that. They would secure that before the movie, you know? Because there are some reoccurring characters within this movie, namely from Jennifer Love Hewitt and from Freddie Prinze Jr. reprising their old roles from the old movies. From CSI. Derek was really on about saying Jennifer Love Hewitt was in CSI.
I mean, she was in one episode. Not that I knew that when I was saying it.
Yeah.
No, she was in Criminal Minds.
Yeah, that's what it was. She was in Criminal Minds. And then Freddie Prinze Jr., you probably recognize, if you don't know him from this one, from a little movie called Scooby-Doo, Scoobert Doobert.
Yeah, he plays 1 and John.
2. He what?
He plays John.
He plays John.
Everybody's favorite character from Scooby-Doo, John. Oh my God, they reference Scooby-Doo in this movie.
They do. I actually had a note about that. The fact that they reference Scooby-Doo at one point in this movie, which is funny because not only is Freddie Prinze Jr. in the original one, he is also in the his wife, who also plays Daphne in the original Scooby-Doo live-action movies, Sarah Michelle Gellar, is also in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I don't know Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Never mind, I'm stupid. Of course, I Know What You Did Last Summer came first. Duh.
Then what?
Then Scooby-Doo. Scoobert Doobert.
Yeah. Scoobert Doobert wasn't out yet.
Can we talk about how wonderful the casting is of Scooby-Doo? Like,
yeah.
I cannot...
I think we talked about it.
We probably did, but it's just like it makes me think about it again. I just don't know if we'll ever have a movie that gets the casting just so good, so right away.
Watch that?
We watched that a while ago because we watched Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, which, if I remember right, kicked ass. I love it a lot. I think I rated it like 4 stars. That
movie slaps. It's
a very good movie. It's heartfelt, It's very touching. There's a scene where you can absolutely see like the CGI completely off where it's supposed to be, or just not on at all. It's great times.
It's so good.
But anyway, we're here to talk about another movie, and not about John from Garfield.
Hey, it's me, John from Garfield. So this movie had an $18 million budget and made a $58 million
which I'm surprised about.
So it's been out a month.
I did not hear a lot about the buzz of this movie. However, I do think there is something to say about the fact that, like, sometimes I feel like I have to remember that sometimes movies are not made for me. Sometimes I have to remember that there are movies specifically in the horror genre.
I'm going to just say it.
Most movies.
I would say 99.9999999% of movies aren't made for you.
No, but the point is, like, there are audiences that this caters to much more. For instance, I forget that, like, specifically in horror, there is a huge, like, there's a huge market for them to be catering to, like, movies for like teens to go see on a date, when they want to go see a spooky movie, I think that, and I feel like that is where this kind of slasher horror movie really falls in. Right. So I feel like that's maybe the kind of crowd that went to go see this one, and certainly not, guys in their 20s going to see this with their buddy for their horror podcast.
Okay, I figured it out. I figured out what I was thinking about. I was thinking about 28 Years Later.
Right.
Which is a reboot. Right. And also I was thinking about Superman, which was also a reboot, and also Fantastic Four.
That's
so
true.
Like there are movies,
a lot of reboots.
It happens more in the Marvel or the
for sure.
DC world, but just the fact that there are multiple reboots happening in the last couple of years that are actually very
doing
successful.
A good job. Yeah, I can't say any of those I particularly disliked or even some of them I really, really enjoyed, actually. And again, not typically a fan of these things. I don't like sequels. I don't like remakes and reboots, but sometimes they do really good.
No, but I mean, honestly, Final Destination this year is better than all of the other Final Destinations.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, it's been a minute since I've checked out a lot of the Final Destinations, but
I watched them all the week before.
That's true. So you can confidently say that. And I can half-heartedly say, it is like one of my favorites, if not maybe my favorite installation in the whole of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a little reference. We already did that.
Hooked on a feeling.
Did that.
That's just going to be my transitional, like, getting back to the movie.
What I was going to say, though, is Smurfs had a budget of $58 million and has made $75 million.
That's
so
crazy.
The reason I bring that up is they released at the same time, and I just thought it was really funny that as we sit the day of our Lord August 3rd, 2025, the amount of money that I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 has made is the budget of Smurfs.
That's insane. But also just imagine, like, which way you going, Westward Man? It's like you can either go see Smurfs or you can go see I Know What You Did Last Summer. These are your choices. It's a great time for movies right now.
I mean, you could also go see Together.
Together, yes, exactly. That's that one was released just barely though. Because I Know What You Did Last Summer has been out for like a month almost a month. Yeah,
and it's already leaving theaters, which not super surprising.
Which is why we got stuck
pretty good
in the theater at like 1 a.m. We got kicked out for nothing. Apparently, we went to the front of the theater afterwards. There was a huge group of people that were all just making their way back inside. I was like, okay, guess it was probably something uninteresting, like a false alarm or something.
Yeah, I'm glad that nothing bad happened.
Yeah, I don't want bad things.
I just, it's like the last 5 minutes of my movie. Yeah, I'm inconvenienced.
But it's just bad radio, I want to tell the story and be like, yeah, and then a real killer in a rain slicker came in, and it was Mr. Krabs the whole time. Yeah. Quit spending your money on movies. Spend your money on me Krabby Patties.
So
what?
I had put a camera in your burger.
What?
I don't know, man.
The killer in this movie doesn't use camera.
Shut up. You did.
It's me, the killer from I Know What You Did Last Summer. I use cameras now. I put them in illegitimate places.
Like a hamburger.
Did you just say camburger?
Yeah, shut up.
Hello, sharks. I know what you're wondering. Is this just a giant camera but in between two pieces of bread? And you're exactly right.
And you're exactly right. But listen, sharks, have you ever been eating? I know you have, because you're a living person. You've eaten before.
I know this guy definitely eats. He's an eater, big time.
How about going to the gym more, huh? All right, Chubbs. So here we go.
That's a great tactic for guys on Shark Tank to just ridicule the sharks.
Call him Chubbs.
Yeah, really playing with fire.
I am looking for a 30% stake in my $18 million company.
For cam burgers, the burger with a camera inside of it.
You ever want to see what's on the inside of your colon? Well, connect our Cam Burger TM to our special
Trademark
app.
Patent pending.
App Burger. App Cam. No. Ask Cam. Nope. Cam.
We tried Ask Cam. Our lawyers wouldn't allow that one.
ASAP Burger. Asa Burger.
Ass Burger.
Ass Up Burger.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Ass Burger? All right, this bit died.
Anyway, sharks, we're looking for $8 million, please, for Cam Burgers.
For 30% of an $8 million. I don't remember how it works.
$8 million. $7 million of that will go to my gambling debts. Thank you very much. Good night.
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Okay, I'm done.
No, you can keep
Sorry,
doing it.
sharks. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, America and other countries. Sorry, the world.
Imagine you're running a game show or something, and someone comes in and calls you Chubbs. I know this guy eats burgers. Isn't that right, Chubbs?
You said that so quick. Have you used this before?
No, I'm just fast.
No, I'm just quick with it. Gosh.
I'm just quick with it. So Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at a 36% for I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. It's such a long name.
It really is.
I know we
got
already
to
riffed
shorten
on that, but it bothers me.
It's just called I Know.
Hooked on film. It's actually, it all comes back.
See, it told you. It all works. It all works.
Its audience is sitting at a 68%. Letterboxd is at a 2.5. IMDb is at a 5.6. And that is the ratings I have. I already talked about the budget. Man, I just went out of order. I thought I had more to say. Let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes and read a couple reviews, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We do have a critics consensus on this one, so sitting at a
Mr. Krabs.
36% with it. Do you want to read it as Mr. Krabs?
Kinda.
Okay, go for it.
Faithfully hearkening back for the original, for better or for worse. This I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot serves up plenty of nostalgia without finding a compelling hook on its own.
That's pretty good, actually. I do like that one a lot. Let's see what Max Allen from Horror Movie Talk says.
Or my voice?
As a what?
Did you like the consensus or did you like my
I love both, truly. I like the two of them together.
I felt like that was actually a good groove.
I feel like that
was good.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore.
You don't want to do it anymore.
No, it's bad radio.
Max Allen from Horror Movie Talk with a rotten review says, it doesn't try very hard to be unique and literally plays off the same exact premise as the original with a few twists.
It literally did. I've never even seen the original.
And I know that. Yeah, I can tell. What's yours?
Paul Salfin from AMFM magazine with a score of 5.5 out of 10 says, it's sort of a Scream and Scooby-Doo hybrid and isn't and wasn't ever as good as either, but it is still passable slasher fun that has a bunch of predictable elements but a few tricks up its sleeve.
Michael Ward from Should I See It says, with a fresh review, ... gnarly and bloody at times, but also easy to consume, ... That's it. Score of 3 out of 5.
Gabriela Mueza from Fuera de Foco with a score of 2 out of 5. Less a slasher and more a parody. It winks at the genre without fully embracing its thrills.
Yeah,
I like that review.
I feel like I'm down with that one. Derek, how do you feel about slasher movies as a genre?
I love slasher.
Yeah, I feel like we don't talk about that very much on this podcast. Like when it comes to, because obviously it's all horror all the way down. However, within horror, it's an umbrella for several different subgenres inside of horror. Like, I neglect that until I'm really looking at the whole scope of it. I'm like, wow, there are lots of different kinds of horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, there are.
Some you can speak about more broadly and stuff, some much more niche and specific. But I feel like the slasher genre is one we've covered a few times here.
I feel like it's like there's like a spectrum. It's kind of like being gay or being like autistic.
Yes.
There's such like I shouldn't compare it to those things. There's just like such a spectrum, right? Like on one end you have action movies and the other end you have horror.
Yeah.
Like you have like I don't know, like Sinister, like something like Sinister Oddity or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you have like this whole range of movies on the inside, and then like you get closer to the action side with something like Megan 2, and then like a little further down the line you have I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then like you have Together, which is somewhere close to like the comedy horror, which I would say is like right in the middle, and then like the further down, the scarier you get, the further up you get funnier or more action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did that paint a painting?
No, absolutely. That
someone should draw that.
Someone should draw that
because I feel like it makes sense, and I kind of want to like start putting movies into like this spectrum.
Yeah.
I feel like too often when I'm watching horror movies, I'm getting frustrated if they're not scary enough, or I'm getting frustrated if they're too action.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like it really is just a spectrum, right? There is just a very long range, because to a certain extent, you could call something like John Wick a horror movie because it is got those slasher elements. You know,
I do feel like there is something about how
I never would call him.
No, of course not. He's kind of he can be kind of scary, and his line deliveries are also a little scary. I'm thinking I'm back. I have much love to Keanu Reeves, so sometimes his deliveries leave me.
Love it. I fucking
scratching my head a little bit.
I love him so much.
But I do feel like there's something to be said about the importance of like when you go into a movie having some kind of expectation as far as what that subgenre is.
Yeah.
Specifically with horror movies, because I feel like that happens a lot where I'll come in expecting this one horror movie, and if it's not that, it'll take me a little bit to like reset my expectations for it and such.
Yeah.
But this one I knew through and through. I'm like, this is a slasher movie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because this came out in the 90s when slasher movies were kind of taking a bit of like a new life.
Yeah.
Because you have your Halloweens with Michael Myers, and you move to your Friday the 13th, your Nightmare on Elm Street, those kinds of things. Once those kind of start getting like a little stale in those regards, you get like the more slightly grittier, using a lot of like TV stars for horror movies that they use in the 90s. Yeah. With, why you have Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and things like that. And so it's purely, it is a slasher flick for sure.
Yeah, through and through.
So yeah, I was interested to see where we're sitting with the slasher movie as a genre in 2025, because I don't know like how much of that we have right now. There are not a lot of new ones, and I feel like a lot of them are just riffing on some of the old shit.
Though, I mean, if you think back, like even the last couple of years, like Thanksgiving was a slasher movie.
Exactly, and it's a new slasher movie.
And it's new. It's a new character. It's a new world, and it works
and I
really,
like
really
that.
well.
And I feel like that's kind of what we need. I feel like we don't. I mean, I feel like this in the general sense of everything in the world right now. We don't need more regurgitation of everything for nostalgia bait all the time.
No.
But I specifically feel like what is really working and helping move said genres further, like slasher movies, is stuff like Thanksgiving and like
even like The Conference.
Yeah.
Do you remember The Conference? That one Dutch
that was a good
movie?
one too.
That was like a crazy movie.
And I mean, Terrifier is also a slasher, right? Like Arch the Clown, and another new IP that's making waves in the horror community.
I do feel like it's another thing. It's like there's like the full spectrum, and then there's like little mini spectrums inside the spectrums.
Yeah.
Like, because even slasher films have their own little spectrum.
Exactly.
You have something like John Flick, which is like a slasher / action film. It's not a horror at all. But then on the other end of that, you have something like Terrifier that is a gory horror slasher.
But that's the thing. Like, you have subgenres that also have other subgenres attached to them. Like,
it's
you
complicated.
Have a slasher movie like Terrifier, but that is also like somewhere along the lines of things like Saw, where it's like also kind of torture porn a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
absolutely.
There are things that's a hat on a hat on a hat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I was iffy about I Know What You Did Last Summer, just in the regards that it's like it is just taking the nostalgic, like, remember this movie from the late 90s? You loved that at that time.
Yeah.
And I feel like we definitely, especially at that point in the 90s, we got to a point where like we're kind of burning out on slasher movies, you know?
Yeah.
Which is why I think it kind of like was not as popular after the creation of, because I think what really revamped the slasher movies was Scream.
Yeah.
Because it was like meta and we could do new things with that, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as a subgenre starts to get like parodied, like with Scary Movie, that's when things kind of start to peter out, and it's like, okay, I think we've reached the end of this thing's lifespan, you know?
Absolutely. And then it kind of just resurgences every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, like I mentioned, how I'm like body horror kind of in right now.
It is.
Kind of working great and working for me personally.
That's so crazy.
Lots of room for practical effects and stuff, a la like The Thing, you know, love things like that. David Cronenberg's The Fly, right? Like, these are all good things that I love.
Yeah, and we are kind of in a world now where everything that gets made is based in nostalgia.
Yes.
And not necessarily everything, but I mean everything.
A lot of
like,
things. Remember the live action Lilo and Stitch? Like, why did we do that?
No,
we
absolutely.
don't need that.
But also, like, you think about something like Together that we just saw, so
Yes.
it's like fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was like this like grotesque body horror that felt like an homage to old Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Like that, that. It's kind of like, I guess it happens with everything. It happens with music. It happens with like fashion, and all these things where it's like we take these things from years ago and we bring them forward.
I mean, things cycle through constantly, right? Old trends become new again and fresh for you.
It's just interesting because like so many things exist now that would not have existed had something else existed before it and been popular. And that's such a crazy concept.
It's wild.
And it's just, it will be that way forever. And there will be times where like people will not know what thing that thing was based on,
right?
But that new thing will then become of its own thing and then spawn other things, you know? Like in 10 years or 20 years, someone's going to make a movie that's a relation, like an homage to The Substance.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll just forget about The Fly that was an obvious...
I mean, it's like... It's kind of funny because you see that even like, you know, to speak as an old man, you see that happen all the time where it's like younger kids finding things that are like old and like, wow, this thing is cool. And then parents being like, oh, that was the thing back in my day, you know, when I was your age, you know, like it's just a constant loop of these kinds of things. What's weird is I used to have a much more cynical view of that kind of stuff.
Me too.
But like,
I don't anymore.
I can continue to appreciate things as long as we like are continuing to be creative and inventive with things, you know? Because it's like you mentioned, like, right, there's crazy body horror, like there was The Fly, right? And then you have crazy body horror these days, which is like The Substance. And like The Substance was not directly like The Fly, right? It's like a new spin, new take on these things and themes. And I love that because I remember I talked a couple times on this podcast, got up on my high horse about a couple things.
Have fun.
Yeah, that's you. We talked about Scooby-Doo a while ago. We didn't include you. Sorry.
No, I heard. It's okay.
You're sad about it. Sorry, high horse.
Me and Booby Woo, we had a nice little fallout. It's okay.
Okay, well, I hope you guys are still, you know, chummy with each other, I guess.
I wanted to give him my bucks, and he just wanted to eat Wooby snacks.
Yeah, that's his thing, you know. He's not much of a box guy, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe he put some Scooby snacks inside of a box, and then maybe he'd like that.
How dare you?
Okay, sorry.
You motherfucker.
I'm so sorry.
I just put you a box, and then you... Oh, I gotta go back.
He's stewing
building my own
one.
box.
No, but what I've talked about in the past is about how I've been worried about the horror genre because I feel like more and more every year we keep pushing the envelope of like what is going to be scarier than last year's, what's going to be the next Terrifier to make it bigger, gorier, way more in your face, more upsetting and stuff. And I'm like, we don't need that. That's not all horror needs to be, nor is it all horror has ever been, right? We don't need to keep upping the ante. I think we just need to keep finding new ways to do things and more creative outlets and trying new things, you know? Yeah. We need, you know, innovation and that kind of stuff, you know? Not necessarily going further till we have absolutely nowhere to go until it's like a snuff film where people are actually dying.
Which feels like they're going to make a movie like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. We're in such a weird place.
Such a weird place.
But it's like, I don't know, things like Together are giving me hope where it's like taking these ideas, but it's not going. It really didn't do anything we haven't seen before. Right? Like, I think that's one thing I liked about it. And it didn't do anything we hadn't seen before, but it did it in a unique, fun way. And then to turn that back on, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
It did a million things that I've seen a million times, and it didn't do anything unique.
Yeah.
It was, and I mean, we'll continue to talk, but we're going to talk about it right now. But like, I don't, it frustrated me to watch it because I was like, I've seen all of this. I've never seen an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie.
So this is fresh to us.
But even then, I've seen all of that.
Yes.
There was not one moment of that movie
that was like
that I was like,
new
ooh,
thing.
that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fresh. That was unique. What do you have? You have a group of teenagers do something stupid, get murdered one by one.
Continue to split up in bad situations.
Obviously one of the group.
Yes, a pretty obvious killer.
There are two well-known actors who are also there. One of them ends up being the killer. Spoilers.
Spoiler
for
alert.
the end of the movie. Like,
that's why you're here.
But like seriously, like how many of those things that I just mentioned have we not seen
before? None. Absolutely
literally none of those.
them.
You also have generic kills. Like you have someone dying with a knife, with a rope, with a hook.
With a hook. Love the hook.
The hook, it wasn't a great hook.
The hooks.
The hooks. I'm just saying, like it's unfortunate like this movie happened because I guess somebody dies with a spear gun. But I've seen that before.
That's true. Yeah, we've seen
I can't
it all,
even pinpoint where I've seen it. I just know I've seen it.
Yeah. But so that's the thing is like we have these things that are made for like pure nostalgia baits that are not really being that creative with certain things, not adding a lot of new stuff to it.
And I feel like if I were to make this movie, I not that I would, I'm not that talented, but I would try and find a fresh way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like I would try to be like, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I was the guy in the car. Like I would have liked that. I would have liked that kind of a thing.
Because that's how, I mean, I'm right with you there. I feel like if we're going to be trying to do a thing that's already been done again, why do we need to be making this? What new can we say or do with this? Because if you wanted to just do the same movie again, go watch the one from 1997. Then like because you can do that.
It's a digital media.
Yes.
It's not going to go away.
No.
Like I feel like that was like Star Wars, the episode 7.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great example of this where they basically repeated the exact same plot of the original movie. And then they were like, no, did you guys want this? You said this is what you wanted, right?
This is what you wanted. More of this, right?
But it's at the end of the day, it's like, well, I could just go watch the original thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need this new version of it. So
yeah. So anyway, that's our rant about the current state of remakes and horror movies and stuff. But we can tell you more about I Know What You Did last summer. Do you have any more info for us about the movie as itself?
No.
Is it time to get into our expectations? Generally,
what to expect?
I was not thrilled about this one. Even from watching the trailers, I was like, "This is not going to be."
I remember when we decided to watch this movie, we both kind of looked at each other like,
we gotta do it. But again, in some regards, I do appreciate that because it gives me a reason to watch it. Because were we not watching it for this podcast, I guarantee I would not have seen this movie.
We may say it like groaning, but like we're happy to watch the movie. Like we just want a reason to
good
watch
or
it.
Bad. I love horror movies and I like to stay educated on them. So
I feel the same way about the movie we're watching next week, which we'll talk about later.
Oh yes.
My general expectation is I'm going to have a hard to stay awake time.
Because why? Because it was 11 o'clock at night?
No, it has nothing to do with it. I watch 11 o'clock at night movies all the time.
That's true.
I'm going to say right now, I had a really great time watching this movie because we were alone in the theater.
It was like sparse,
but like
filled,
everyone in the theater was just talking really loud.
Yeah,
which normally I hate. But there was something charming about this.
Everyone was in it together, though. Like, no one was talking overtly loud where, like, it stuck out during the movie. But there was just, like, a small bit of chatter throughout the theater, which usually I'm never on board with.
No, I'm never on board with that.
But I think it was just the timing, the movie, the fact that everyone was kind of in on it together.
We were all laughing at how ridiculous it was.
About it. I think Derek was laughing the loudest in the whole theater, He said MILF really loud one time. Which funny, it wasn't even that loud, but his laugh in response to him saying MILF out loud was louder than anything going on at the moment.
I like moms now, apparently.
We were certainly having a time.
It happens.
It happens, What do you expect?
So, reached that point in my life.
My first expectation in the movie, my first formal one said straight up, I am not going to enjoy this one. Yeah. I was coming at this one with a little bit of like a dour expectation.
I think I was a little more positive than you.
Yeah.
I know what you
Which is a good
feel
balance.
About movies last summer.
Yeah.
Nope, that was stupid. All the kills will be all hook, no fun.
Hey, that's really good. My next one says dialogue will be despicable. Just like
pretty good.
Even just through the trailer, I'm like, oh god, this is going to be one where the dialogue is just atrocious to get through.
Corny dialogue was my next one.
Same deal.
Corny dialogue.
I said 0 interesting kills. I'm like, I know the killer has a hook. And that's cool. I do not have faith that they will do anything neat with it.
It's not a practical... Well, I'll get into that later. It's just not a practical killing device.
I love hearing Derek get into the logistics of like a killer's weapon of choice.
Why am I an expert on this?
I don't know. Specifically knives. You're really good about that. We'll talk about the Wusthof.
There's a Wusthof knife.
Wusthof knife, yes.
It's a fucking conspiracy.
It is the knife of serial killers.
Fucking conspiracy. I don't know what's happening, but it is every... goddamn movie.
Horror directors love this knife.
They love Wusthof knives. Maybe they're just really popular in like...
Maybe just easy to get. I don't know.
I don't know.
Cheap? I don't know.
But they have such a recognizable hilt.
Yeah.
It's the same knife every time.
Every knife is nothing but a Wusthof? Is that Wusthof knife? It's just like a different variation on that.
It's a great knife. There's just a lot of brands.
It's just
out
like
there.
how every
you don't
actor,
have to buy a Wusthof.
Every actor playing Dracula is really doing their iteration of Bela Lugosi's Dracula from the original, right? Like he started it all. Wusthof knife started the shape of knife. Yeah. Now every knife after that is trying to be them.
I'm in love with the shape of knife. Got a blue with the Wusthof glue. Stupid.
So no interesting kills. Derek, what was your next one?
Terrible pacing.
Yeah, I get that. It's definitely something you come to expect from these kinds of films.
Like I felt like I would have moments of like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster that's all uphill with like 2 dips.
Running up that hill, just 2 little ones. It's like nothing that crazy.
All right, so we're going.
The payoff is just not worth it.
Oh, going. Oh, we're going.
I like the thought of you on the super calm roller coaster. Oh, yep. I'm very excited to be here at the
Anticipation Island
today.
is what it's called.
You sound very excited to be there.
All right, everybody. Are you
Mommy
ready
took
to
me
get
to
on?
the roller coaster today. I'm very excited about it. I love roller coasters.
Make sure your bars are down, your lap bars are down.
Trying not to get too excited on this roller coaster. Oh, here we go. Look, I can see my house from here. I love it's so tiny. Oh, not too much fun now. My heart is racing.
It's like a theme park that you go to and you order an Amazon package just to experience the anticipation of waiting for your package to get there.
at the amusement park.
Yeah, you put on VR glasses and you're like surfing Amazon.
Yeah. You put on
buy
your Apple Vision Pro or whatever those headsets are.
And it's like, hey, come back here in 2 hours, pick up your package. And you put the glasses back on and you see the delivery driver, your dog's there barking.
It's a virtual delivery driver.
Yeah.
It's on the digital
You don't actually
space.
get a package. It's all for the experience.
No, yeah, it's all but you paid real dollars for it.
And
for the experience of getting a digital package.
Yeah. And then like at that same amusement park, it's just like all dopamine things. So like you could go and gamble. You just pay an upfront fee of like $80, but you don't actually get any money.
I really feel like amusement parks are missing out on not having a place where you can gamble, you know? We're going to create the first like gambling amusement park. We're going to make millions. Those are good sounds.
Those are really good.
Remember when you were like super into doing Foley work? Yeah.
You too. But then you also have one.
No, go.
What should we call this place? It's like a Dopamine Island, Dopamine Express.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's edging the park.
Yeah. Edging the park.
Edging Park. Edge Park. Edge Park.
Welcome to Edge Park. Give me your money. Why is Mr. Krabs through this whole episode?
I don't know. I love it. What was the other one I was going to say? Oh, it's like you're opening a booster pack of something.
Yeah.
You go there, you get
like those blind bags of things too.
Yeah, you get a release of like.
You kids out there love Labubu's, those things. Have you seen those? They're strange. They're fun.
Some guy walked into my work the other day and he was like, "Hey, have you seen Labubu?" And I was like, "Are you okay?
Are you having a stroke,
sir?
What are you saying to me?"
The ambulance. But he was just edging me.
He was just edging you at the park, out at Edge Park,
where you can
gamble with your friends,
have fun.
Almost have fun. You're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. The whole seat costs extra.
We have a whole roller coaster that just go up.
Can you imagine a whole roller coaster where you have to sit on the edge of the seats? Like you don't get to sit back in it the whole time?
You're literally getting edged.
It'd be terrible. It'd be awful. It'd be like one of those roller coasters where you get like way up high, like something like the Tower of Terror from Disneyland, and you like drop from the top, but you just don't. You just don't at all. Maybe it's a little drop, and then you kind of just slowly go down, and then just
slowly go all the way
all
down.
the way to
but
the
then
bottom.
Right at the bottom, you get the little plunk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the equivalent of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yes.
You know how there's that one drop in the Pirates of the Caribbean,
like right at the beginning. Yeah.
Right at the beginning. So it's that, but like reverse, like if they put it in mirror mode, then they got rid of all of the decorations and theme.
So you're just riding through a wet cave.
You're just riding through a wet cave that has one drop right at the very end. Yeah. That's the new. What is the one with the big drop? What's the big drop one?
The big drop
Tiana's Bayou Adventure now.
Oh, is that what it is?
Now it is. It used to be called something, though.
I don't know.
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. Yeah. That's true.
It's like the new Splash Mountain, except it's like a little splash. It's a literal
cave ride with a drop.
Hey, jump on Mr. Krabs Edgemobile.
Hop into me Edgemobile, Sponge Boy me Bob.
And then like there's one where you're on like a race course. I'm having too much fun.
We're having a heyday here with Edge Park.
You're riding on a speedway. It's Light McQueen's Edge-utopia, and the speed limit signs are always there.
Yeah.
But you never go a 1 mile over the speed limit. So you're just like, it's like a 75 speed limit, and you're sitting at 70 the entire time.
There's one moment where you go like maybe a mile, maybe 2 over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Then a cop behind you, lights go off, and you're like, oh God, you start to pull over. What happens? He goes around
past.
you.
He goes past. He goes past. That's so good. I was with you.
You've been edged.
Yeah. Every time there's like a little sign that pops up.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
There's just statues everywhere of Mr. Krabs pointing at you, like laughing at you. You've been edged. This would be a huge place for people with kinks, I guess.
And then you're out there, and there's a place where you can mow your lawn, and they give you a pair of edge clippers.
Then they get very specific about it. Yeah, he's not paying like a writer's room to come up with clever things.
No,
that's why it's just wet cave that has a drop at the end. That's the name of the ride.
Wet cave drop at end.
He doesn't care. He wants your money. It's Mr. Krabs. You're here to lose it and gamble it all away.
But you don't gamble anything. You just like give him money.
Yeah, exactly.
And then pretend to.
You're
gamble.
Gambling on a good time. Whether or not you have one is up to you and your perspective.
The funniest thing about the gambling is like you pretend to gamble, but then like at the end,
it's gamble simulator.
You never succeed. You're always like, it's always 7-7 fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single time.
Every time it's like you almost have it, and it sits there and spins and then
on the last slows right on 7 and then flips off of it.
Oh,
it's literally edging the park.
Or it'll do that thing where like lands on it and then clicks just one more down.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all good. So, Mr. Krabs Edge Park coming to nowhere near you.
I gotta write that down real quick. Mr. Krabs Edge Park.
Oh my god, Edge Park. Gambles aplenty. Like it needs some kind of subtitle. Mr. Krabs Edge Park. Drains you dry.
Parks of edging. No, I think Edging Park is really good.
Mr. Krabs Edging Park.
Mr. Krabs Edging Park. Incredible.
Oh, that's a great place for us to be. Should we get back into their expectations? We didn't even finish
Oh my god.
those. Oh my god.
We're awful.
Another expectation of mine going back to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Let's get our hook back into this one. I said too much studio polish to even make it like a fun, bad slasher movie. Because that's another thing about the big slasher boom was that it got to a point where studios were recognizing it was a very popular thing. People were liking slasher movies. And like, not to put like a bad name on horror movies, but like, it's kind of a common thing that like when new directors want to get into this, like, what should I make? They're like, make horror movies because they can be cheap, you know? Cheap and easier to make. Not easy to make really great ones, obviously. Like, you have to have that knack for it. But it's cheaper to make like some kind of slasher movie, some kind of zombie movie, something like that, right? Like, Absolutely. It's easier to make these things. And so there was this like slew of a lot of like campy, really like not so great as far as like movies go, like the horror movie, slasher movie specifically, and they're still enjoyable somehow because there's that weird camp factor to them that makes them enjoyable. They're kind of schlocky, which makes them fun. And so I felt like this one was going to miss the mark by having like way too much money behind them, way too nice studio made this. Everything about it just looked too clean and neat, you know?
It did. Well, it was $18 million, so
exactly. Like,
that's a lot for a slasher.
I like my slasher movies to be a little rough around the edges, you know?
Me too. I like the B movie, like, really, like the ones that have passion.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
Which is what I think has made Terrifier fun to watch because it started really, really, really cheap. He made all of those effects himself.
Exactly. And we get to the point we're at now because of, you know, the great love from Damien Leone, right? Like he definitely like put his passion to this.
But he still
turns
puts his
away
passion into it.
Yeah, turns away certain
money,
companies that want to buy into it. And he's like, no, you're going to change it up. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And so you love that. We need passion. We need passion in movies. What's your next expectation?
Acting that makes me want to quit watching movies altogether.
That's really good.
That's
a good one. That's Need I say more? Done and done. My last expectation just says the cameos won't be much fun. And that might be from a stance where it's like, they will mean nothing to me because I haven't seen the original movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, going back into our rant about, you know, how everything is just nostalgia bait these days, I'm like, you're going to throw them in there just for the wow factor of, wow, Freddie Prinze Jr. is here again. I didn't expect them to do a lot with either actors in this movie.
You know what's funny is I do think it's really hilarious how our expectations line up so much.
We talk about this.
We really do not talk about this.
No.
It's just, we've done this so much at this point because my final one was forced throwbacks to the original film. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
just the cameos.
exactly.
I did want to talk about one more thing. I did not mention the writer and director of this film.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a writer and director. Jennifer Caitlin Robinson. The only crazy thing about her, she wrote and directed this. The greatest thing about it is she also wrote Thor: Love and Thunder.
Interesting.
Historically, like the second worst Thor movie.
Yeah. People were not fans of that one. Myself included. I was also not on board with that one.
It wasn't as bad as Ragnarok, but it was still...
You didn't like Ragnarok?
I loved Ragnarok.
Okay, I was like, wait, whoa.
What was the one that sucked? Because there was the Thor was pretty good, and then there's Thor
the Dark World. People didn't like that one.
That was the one.
Yeah,
that movie
was
sucked.
a bad one.
I loved Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. Everybody loved Ragnarok.
But yeah, so she's responsible for that one, coming in and doing I Know What You Did Last Summer, huh?
Yeah, she's only directed 4 things. Some movie called Do Revenge. I don't think I've ever even heard of this. Oh, I
Know What You Did Last Revenge.
It's basically I Know What You Did Last Summer, but
really?
Not.
So she just really wanted to get her hands on this kind of movie.
She just loves murder.
She just loves murder. I mean, who amongst us does not in our slasher movies?
I don't love murder.
No, me either. But that's it for our expectations, right? Is it time to get into this movie?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Now, Derek, you did create a list, right, of the several different lines of dialogue,
and I found more
that stuck out to us during this movie, and we can come up to them as they come up naturally within the plot synopsis of this. But it's just there are a lot of bits of dialogue that really stick out.
Like a sore thumb.
Really, though, like not even it just doesn't blend with everything they say. They're having dialogue, which is already just kind of subpar at best, and then they throw in this crazy thing where it's like, who thought that was a good idea? Who thought this was a good thing to talk about? I don't understand.
I don't know, man.
But so let's get into I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025.
So this movie starts out at what I thought was a wedding.
I also thought it was a wedding.
After I looked up the synopsis, found out it was an engagement party.
Because rich people love finding any reason to throw a big party. And that's one thing that really annoyed me in this movie. It really just goes to show how privileged and rich all of the main characters are in this movie. Because we got a group of friends, Danica, Ava, Milo, and Teddy, these four friends. And it is Danica and Teddy are getting married. They're engaged
They're
now.
engaged to get married. And it's funny, the one, I did like how on the nose this was. They have like red flowers everywhere. And then there's like a sign that says you got hooked.
Yeah, you hooked a good one is what they say. And then also you mentioned the cake too.
The cake was covered in blood. Yeah, but it wasn't actually blood, it was just like blood red flowers.
Yeah, it just looks like blood. It literally like dripped down the sides of it. I was like, you know, there's something I can appreciate as far as camp goes, like with the like lack of subtlety in that.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that much of it, right?
So anyway, then it's the 4th of July, so like, okay, we're going to drive up this mountain, we're going to watch fireworks in the place we used to do. They end up running into an old friend, Stevie, who works there.
Yeah, who was like helping work the party. She's like, oh great, it's my old friends. Doesn't really get into how they fell out. All we know is like, oh, they're not really friends anymore. Yeah, and apparently Stevie was in rehab, but they didn't really tell us that. You found that out when reading the synopsis.
I did not find that until I read the synopsis, which how does the synopsis know more than me?
It's weird. I don't understand. I'm watching the movie. I should know more than you, synopsis.
Yes, synopsis.
But so it's just funny because they mention, okay, so there's some weird history here. They're not friends anymore. And then they walk up to her and like, hey, we're going to go up to that old place we used to watch fireworks. How about it? And she's like, okay, and just joins.
Yeah.
And then they're just buddies again. She's hesitant for sure.
She's with some other girl who I didn't think would matter, but kind of matters.
Kind of mattered later.
It was just like her friend. She's like, I'll take it over. You go with your friends. Come on.
So she
have fun.
Joins them again for one night. And like I feel like this is around the same realm of what happened in the original movie. Again, I haven't seen it, so I can't say for sure. But basically, they're sitting on top of this hill where there's just like this crazy curve on the road that is like known for some
Reaper's
Corner, I think is what they call it. Yeah. And so one of their friends, Teddy, is messing around in the street. He causes one dude to swerve off the side of the road and plummet to his death, basically.
Yeah. And they make the decision to then call the police and leave.
Yes.
Even though Stevie is freaking the fuck out.
She's like, we can't do this. I just got my life in order after rehab. Like,
she didn't even say that.
No, she didn't.
She just said, I got my life together.
I got my life together. She still has not mentioned rehab even a little bit. But like, what's wild to me is the fact that he was kind of messing around in the street. They really could chalk this up to just being an accident. I don't understand why they not only go to such lengths as like, we need to not go to the police station. We're going to swear to secrecy for the rest of our lives. And Teddy, whose dad is like mayor of this town or something like that, has gone to such lengths as to bribe people to like scrub the internet of any mention of this, so to like completely wash it from the public's view. Like it was an accident. The dude drove off the side of the road.
Yeah, he was standing in the road, but like it was an accident.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have even really got manslaughter in this situation.
No, exactly.
They say that they would.
Because they're like, dude, it's manslaughter. We killed a guy. I'm like, in a sense, yes, but like, I don't know.
But also, no. And like, if they had stayed, they potentially could have helped him.
Yes.
Like, they even say that. They're like, we could go down and help this guy.
Yeah.
But instead, they're like, no. For the plot of the movie, we have to leave.
Which, I don't know. In my eyes, I'm like, I don't know. It was a pretty far drop in that car. I do not think this guy is alive. But leaving is also a bad idea, right? Like, you're there, you witnessed it. Also, the thing about it is like the dude was playing around in the street, egging this one car to come and like hit him, right? His friend bum rushes him and gets him out of the way, right? It is then that the car swerves out of the road. So they weren't even intentionally fucking around in the street.
It was the second car.
Yeah, the second car, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, they weren't doing, I don't know. It's just so dumb. Like, the plot, the device they've used to get them in this situation was kind of dumb.
Also, they kept drinking from this flask that I swear to God kept refilling.
The continuity was a mess.
Because they, like, there's a point where someone, like, pours the last few drops in their mouth, hands it to someone else, and they
start
drink
chugging it. Yeah. It's wild.
Crazy.
But yeah, so basically, now they're like, we can never tell anyone about this. We're going to take this secret to our grave. Some people are more okay with that than others. Some people really struggling with the fact that they feel very responsible for this man's death, right?
Yeah, man.
Then fast forward a year. Lots happening. What's that? It's another bridal shower going on.
What's that? It's people having sex on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
So our good friend who was dating some other guy,
Ava. This is not incredibly clear to me.
Nope.
Ava and Milo, who Milo, by the way, just recently played Prince Eric in the recent adaptation of The Little Mermaid, which was kind of funny to me.
Yeah, he wanted to get back into sea.
It seemed like the two of them started the movie. Come on. The two of them started seemingly as maybe an item between each other, but not explicitly saying that. Then fast forward a year, the first clip we see is Ava hooking up with some girl in like the airport bathroom.
Yeah.
Just some random girl. And so she's like, oh, hey, Milo, are you here to pick me up? We're going to this one town, right? The girl who she just recently hooked up with is like, hey, I'm going to that town too. Can you give me a ride? This character, this girl who has joined them.
Then we find out their name is Tyler. She's played by Gabriette, who is a singer.
Single name Gabriette.
Is Le Burchell, as I just found out.
Oh, okay.
She's an American model and musician. Does just go by Gabriette. Lead singer and songwriter of the punk rock band Nasty Cherry. I had never listened to them. We actually listened to one of the songs. Kind of kicked ass.
It's not terrible. No, truly. I was really expecting
it to
listen
to
be
an
a
album.
lot worse. And the video had these like cool, like old school horror vibes to it. I thought it was pretty fun. However, her character in this movie, Derek, tell me, what does she like to do for fun?
Oh, she's a podcaster.
What does she like to talk about on podcasts?
True crime.
Of course she does. It is so funny.
Everything. I walked out of the theater when that happened.
That the lowest hanging fruit. He tried to. He really was like looking around. He's like, I'm done. I'm leaving this place. He made a whole scene about it. But the lowest hanging fruit to put a podcaster into a movie these days is to make them a true crime podcaster.
It's so stupid.
It's just all the time. Always giving podcasters a bad rep. I didn't think I cared about these things until things like this happen.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so sad to be a guy who has a podcast now. I hate it.
No, I love having
because she was kind of obnoxious, just as the character.
Oh, she was awful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's that trope. It's like, hey there, followers. Hey there, murder fans. Like my favorite murder calls their fans murderinos.
Yeah,
and like that's like cute and endearing, but also kind of cringy sometimes. But when they try to replicate it in a movie like this, it's so awful.
Hate it. I don't like it. I wish.
Hey, what's up there, murder fans?
Yeah,
I'm here in Southport or whatever.
Stop doing it. I hate it. But so all of them are awkwardly driving to this town. What's it called? Southport. Okay. So they're all driving to Southport, where this whole bad thing happened 1 year ago. They're here to meet their friend Danica, who is now marrying a completely different person.
Yeah,
Teddy's out of the picture. Yeah, that's not necessary.
This is completely pointless.
She mentions the fact that she's like, I know he's an alcoholic, but he's been really good to me this year. There's like one scene where you see this character named Wyatt down like half a bottle of wine.
That's it.
And that's it. And it's like, yeah, he's an alcoholic. We really needed you to know that.
So she's having another engagement party.
Yes.
Which is absolutely insane that the first thing was
a year after
engagement
this
party.
happened.
Then she's having another engagement party. Or it's a bridal shower.
It's a bridal shower this time. Still. Same tomato.
Come on. Anyway, so she's opening up letters and she gets one that says, I know what you did last summer.
Oh my, who did this? That's so funny. But she's like, I know what I did. I killed a guy.
She didn't say that.
No, she didn't say that.
But then she's immediately like, it's my crazy ex.
It's my crazy ex, Teddy. You remember from a year ago when we killed that guy?
So anyway, they go and they track him down and they're like, look, Did you send this letter? She's freaking out.
He's like, dude, this sucks. I'm sad. Leave me alone. He straight up wants nothing to do with it. He's like, I did not do any of this kind of stuff. And so things kind of are left there until we get our first real kill of the movie on Danica's new fiance, Wyatt, right?
Yep.
This is when he drinks half a bottle of alcohol, and then outside there's a pool, and then the pool lights turn on because it's a pool with lights inside of it because they're rich. Remember that? How many times were we like, what kind of goddamn house is this? There's like sliding glass doors in it. There's pools that light up crazy, like dungeons underneath one of them that they never go in. It's wild.
It's wild.
Rich people just have too much money, and that's the moral to learn here. Don't be in old movies like Friday the 13th, or like if you have premarital sex, you'll get punished with death. And this one is like if you're rich, you're gonna die. That's your punishment for being rich. But so the pool lights turn on, then they turn off again. He's kind of spooked by this. Then out from the darkness, he gets shot with this harpoon thing straight through like the side of his chest.
Yeah, dude.
And then he gets assailed by this dude. I've never used this term in my life.
Slicker.
It is in a black rain slicker. I've never heard that before. I just say raincoat, rain jacket. Didn't know there was a term for this.
Oh yeah, rain slicker. That's a pretty common term.
But yeah, no, it's a thing that people talk about. I guess it is a real thing, and it is what this killer wears. But he basically just looks like a fisherman, right?
He does.
And so then he just kind of takes out the guy. It's not a particularly gory scene. Like, he gets stabbed through once.
No, I actually checked to see if this movie was PG-13 because it was pretty tame.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little bit more.
Wasn't it rated R? Didn't you say that?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I just expected it to be PG-13 with the quality
it was
kills.
fairly tame. But yeah, he gets shot through a couple of times, and then the killer leaves the dead body for the fiance to find later on. I feel like there's a lot of that in this movie where it's like there's not a lot of things we see of the actual killing. We see a lot of the aftermath of it, how they are left after the fact.
Yeah.
Which they do look pretty like, it's grisly to see them after their deaths and such, but we don't see any gnarly kill scenes and sequences.
No. And it was at this point that we thought it would be really, really funny to sing Hooked on a Feeling every time they kill someone with the hook.
Uh-huh.
Which I really want to make a YouTube supercut of all the kills in all of these movies.
I think it'd be so funny if it was one of those killers who I say one of those killers like this has ever existed. What if he had like theme music that like followed him around?
Yeah.
It's like the closer he gets, the louder it gets.
Ooga, ooga, ooga,
chaka, ooga, ooga.
Ah!
Which, in some regards could be kind of fun,
That'd be dope as fuck.
I love when movies take like songs that would be upbeat and fun and put us like them in a horror setting, and it really works. It makes for like a fun sequence. But anyway, this movie really could have benefited from using Hooked on a Feeling.
It really could have.
So then where do we go from here, Derek? What happens now after our first death, right?
He's dead. So now she comes downstairs after having a bath and listening to her Bose headphones. Totally not sponsored. Oh, they were definitely Sony noise canceled.
Yes, there were a lot of like product placements within this.
God.
We're talking Sony headphones, Tostitos, chips.
There was like a crazy cologne that kept showing up. The cars, they would zoom in on the backs of the cars.
Like sponsored by Honda or something like that.
Even some of the alcohols had their labels turned towards the camera.
Specifically like holding them to the camera.
It was ridiculous, dude.
It's probably why they had that guy down half a bottle of alcohol to be like, yeah, this is the good one. It's in movies. Buy it.
Nothing. I didn't know what it was.
No, absolutely not.
So after all of this, she calls the cops, obviously, because her fiance's dead.
God, she is so bad at acting like she is in grief, like she is grieving anything.
Oh, Madeline Klein. You weird combination of Jennifer Lawrence and
Florence Pugh.
Yeah. You're great, but like you are just a weird combination of Florence Pugh and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no other way to put it. Florence Lawrence.
Yeah, Florence Lawrence. That's good. How did you feel about their performances throughout in this movie? How do we feel about our leading team of people?
Why did they do it?
I don't like it, really. Like, they just weren't
so bland. There's nothing fun about these characters.
Very bland.
The only character I even felt remotely for was Teddy, and I think the only reason I did was because he was so funny to laugh at.
Yeah.
He was so fun to laugh at. He was so dorky.
Mm-hmm. The only redeeming factor I would say about these characters is not necessarily on them. I guess a little bit in their delivery, but it's about the dialogue they were given for some of these scenes. Because that's another thing you get in a lot lot of like so bad it's good slasher movies is the fact that like some of these things are like laughable. They are so bad. Specifically, like some of their lines, like for instance, when they're all debating about what's happening, who this killer could be, who's sending them these letters. One of the girls, Madeline Klein, I think Danica, says to a character, "Are you an egg, Milo?"
He like says something pretty intelligent.
Yeah,
then, are you an egg?
Not even the dumbest
Milo?
thing that's said in this movie.
Well, and then in that same moment, that she's all sad because her boyfriend's dead.
Yeah,
and she walks out and she says, "You know that meme where they say, would you still do your skincare routine if your boyfriend dies?" I know the answer. It's yes.
My God.
That's a real line from this movie.
But even you gave it more like love than she gave it. It was very.
Sorry, she did mumble through it.
Yeah, a lot of people mumbled through their lines.
Much fucking mumbling.
I typically like. I don't need or want subtitles in like a regular movie theater setting, but like. I really sometimes like, what the hell are they saying?
I wish I had it.
I do not know what you're talking about. Your diction is so bad.
I've never been so critical on diction in movies. It kind of felt like a Christopher Nolan film where I couldn't like understand what they were saying. Yeah. But also, that's one thing. Yeah, Christopher Nolan, right? He did Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah. His movies are always hard to understand.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like that, but like just like a few characters.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was super strange like that. Any other standout lines you want to bring out right now? Are you an egg was a pretty good one.
Let's kick the tires on your little theory was a pretty good one.
Oh my God, yeah. They have a lot of like trying to conspire with each other to figure out what's going on between them, and it's so dumb.
There's a moment in the next scene where Tyler, the podcaster, is talking about how like the glorification of killers is a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and she says no one was happy with the gentrification.
Oh
instead of the
God.
gentrification,
Oh
the
my
gentrification.
That's so bad.
And I'll go over the next ones when we get closer to their
That's crazy.
scene.
But so we've got this setting, we've got a lot of these new characters. We do have to remember it is not a reboot. It is, a continuation. It's a sequel, to the older ones, right? So that means we've got to introduce some old characters. So that means we still exist in a world where these kinds of killings and similar things were happening from a killer wearing a rain slicker, or wielding a hook has already happened in the past. So they find that out. And apparently, again, Teddy's dad, who is the mayor of this town, paid a lot of money to get that buried as deep as possible because he wanted to make this a thriving now town where people want to come and spend their money and live here forever. So, like, there's actually not a lot of knowledge to be found out about this, right? So that's when Ava goes back to what's her name, the podcaster. Tyler. She goes back to Tyler to be like, hey, you know a lot about this stuff. Give me a tour of some of the spooky locations. Yep. And it is there that they get assailed by the killer and the rain slicker, and Tyler dies.
Yep, Tyler. And she says, and I quote, "Please, you don't have to do this. I'm a fan. Please, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan." Gets stabbed.
I'm a fan of you, the killer.
And then she sees
the serial killer.
She unmasks the killer and goes, "It's you.
It's you." Yeah, one of those moments. And to us, we're like, she doesn't know anyone in this group of people. Who could it possibly be?
Which actually, if you think about it, that does kind of give away who
it absolutely does. And that's another thing. We had already said our speculations. I called the killer and like pretty much immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Derek. My first guess was correct.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, I totally agreed with you immediately. And it was just from then on.
Because, like, is it a great motive? No, but the motive was already set in place. I'm like, that's easy. There, you can grab that.
Honestly, kind of forced. Like, there was no red herring at all.
No.
There was, like, no moment of it even trying to be anyone
because the
else.
thing is, there were a couple moments where some new characters would be introduced for, like, a scene, and they seemed a little bit shady. Like, there was a whole sequence where they kept trying to get us to think this weird, like, youth pastor dude was evil and bad.
Which he kind of was involved.
Kind of, but like not a lot. It gets kind of complicated. I don't know. But like there were a couple scenes where like they wanted us to think maybe it was this person, but I'm like, no, they don't have enough motive to really drive them to do any of this stuff.
So anyway, through this really boring scene, she gets chased through this thing. She's like pulling herself out of the dumbwaiter. The killer strings her up and hangs her.
Yeah. And
then they're like, it's a suicide, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Danica's
she was
like,
very troubled. She liked to talk about true crime, and so like it's just just another bad stereotypes, man.
Dude, it's terrible. And then Ava is like, I was there. That was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She didn't kill herself. She was murdered.
Yeah, it was a murder. You guys are trying to bury this stuff just like you tried to bury it years ago.
And then, just like any Marvel movie, the guy, Freddie Prinze Jr., walks into the building. He walks in
and it looks like someone's shining some sunlight in his eyes. I don't have much against Freddie Prinze Jr., but every time he was on screen, it looks like he just walked outside after being in a dark room for hours. Yeah, he's just like kind of eye squinty, kind of face going forward kind of look. Just kind of looks like he's in pain all the time.
I mean, if you look at his face, he's all forehead, chin, and cheek. And then his eyes his eyes are like gone. But he's got a huge ass mouth.
Yeah, big mouth.
A big nose. He's just in little eyes. Do you think he's okay?
I hope so.
Is he
I hope he's
LASIK?
doing okay. But yeah, so we meet him. We find out that he works in this town as well. He's actually Stevie's boss. And Stevie was the one, if you remember, who was the one who went to rehab, had a falling out, but now she's great friends with them. Everything's honky-dory and fine with them. So that's his connection into this story. And then he goes back to Jennifer Love Hewitt, who is now a professor at some school nearby. And they're trying to get her help on the situation because they're like, please, you're the only person who knows anything about this. You're the only one who's gone through this. Her advice is kind of like, go find them before they can get you. Go kill this dude before he can kill you, which is crazy.
And then they have a little conversation about her, about the character, Jennifer Love Hewitt's character.
Yeah.
And someone actually says nostalgia is overrated, which blows my mind.
Wild.
And then someone else says people are always trying to kill that woman. I hope she's in therapy.
That's insane.
The dialogue doesn't make any sense.
And Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character and her character are like exes, I believe. Like they're divorced from each other. And that's not incredibly apparent.
I didn't even know.
Nor is it relevant,
I didn't
really.
even know. If I hadn't seen the first movies, I would not have known that.
However, I will say that like throughout the rest of the movie, Freddie Prinze Jr. a lot, Jennifer Love Hewitt a little bit less, plays substantial parts in this. Like they were not simply like pan the camera up and it's like, oh my God, who's that in the doorway? It's Freddie Prinze Jr. Like it's fucking Avengers Endgame. Oh my God. Speaking of that, Derek, can we talk about the music?
Dude.
And the setup for some of the shots and the way they did this.
It all felt Avengers-y. And like everything was building to a climax. It was Edge the movie.
It was Edge the movie.
Like every time like someone
Mr.
would
Krabs Edge Park.
Every time someone would open a car door, it'd be like oh, just open a door.
Yeah. No.
Open in a cabinet to get a drink of water.
There were several moments of like you could call the jump scare from a mile away.
Yeah.
But then there were quite a few actually like edging bits where they didn't give that to you, which was actually kind of funny.
The movie edged me so hard, and then the movie crashed, and I didn't even get the last 5 minutes, which is the ultimate edge.
We kind of got edged by this movie.
Thanks,
Shit.
Cinemark.
It really is a whole theme
It's
throughout
all
the entire
coming
thing.
back.
It's Mr.
Well, it's
Krabs all the way down.
Technically.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
But so yeah, there were several, like there was the one shot that bothered me the most was when the group is enlisting the help of Freddie Prinze Jr. because they find out he had dealt with this in the past, right? And so they're like, we need his help, so they have to tell him the whole story. When he walks into the bar to meet the gang of like 5 of them, the way they are like the composition of this shot with all of them standing in this bar and the build-up music underneath it makes it feel like it's like characters we should know and love from an old movie. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
But it was all the characters from this movie.
Exactly. I'm like, they're not reoccurring characters. They're the characters we just barely met from this movie right here, right now. It just made no sense to me.
It didn't make any sense.
But so, like, we can skip a lot more of what goes on here. More people die in different ways. They're getting picked off one by one by this killer, right?
I mean, Milo dies in the back of a car.
Yeah, he gets strangled by rope.
There's, like, this weird definition of cuddling. They say, do you want to cuddle? And then they just stare at each other in bed.
And stare at each other in bed.
Milo and Ava try to have sex before Milo dies.
The strangest thing about that is she asks him to choke her. And then he's like, I need a moment. And he leaves, goes out into his car. He's like,
he tries to pep talk himself into like, choking
what are you
her.
doing, idiot? Milo, she wants you to choke her. She wants to choke her. Gosh, just do it. Like,
idiot.
It's like, it's just
stupid.
It's just stupid. None of it made any sense. And then he dies.
So then they try to find, they're like, okay, we need to find out who owned this truck, which I like kind of appreciate.
Yeah, the truck of the person who had died in the very beginning of the movie.
They try to like research him. So they track him down.
Because they do find out the truck was stolen. Like it wasn't their car. It was stolen from somebody else. So they're like, we need to find the original owner of said car, right?
Right. Right. And then they find out that it was some guy named Sam who owned the truck.
Yes.
And then that person gets connected to this church.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on the right track?
No, I think it's backwards. I think it was Sam was the one who died in the car. It was Joda. What the hell was his name? Was it Judah?
Judah.
Pastor Judah, yeah. Pastor Judah Gillespie. He has a whole name. Judah was the one driving the car, so it was stolen from... No, it was Judah's car originally. So that's the connection to the pastor guy.
Right. And it was Sam. He didn't steal the car. He just took the car from Judah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm so sorry, guys.
It's kind of convoluted,
It's
honestly.
convoluted for no reason.
For no reason. You get no payoff. Again, Edge the movie. It doesn't lead to anything substantial.
So, okay, here we go.
Lay it on me.
They find that Sam's car belonged to Judah.
Yes.
Danica and Teddy go to visit Sam's grave at the cemetery.
At the cemetery where they have graves, historically. They find some fresh flowers in
yes,
there.
and they're like, "Oh, let's talk to this
yes.
man." Oh,
Yes,
hello,
hello, please.
Yes,
tender of the cemetery.
Gravekeeper.
The field of souls,
the flowers, please.
One of your finest camera videos to see whom it must be.
Whomst was it?
Whomst was it that left the flowers?
This is more entertaining.
What are we doing?
I don't know, but it's better. It's better than this.
They asked the groundskeeper to look back at the camera footage to see who left the flower.
Then they stand there for 3 hours, not realizing that the guy fucking died.
Yeah, he's dead. He
my
got
God.
killed. There's a splash of blood on the cameras. It's kind of a fun shot, but nothing crazy. And again, nothing we haven't seen before.
I mean, okay. We can see things multiple times. I'm fine
Of course.
seeing things
It's
multiple
not
times.
necessarily a problem.
It just has to be executed really, really well. And it never is.
And it never is. And it never is.
Anyway, then the fisherman kills the groundskeeper. Then he comes out and attacks Teddy.
Doesn't kill him.
Does not kill him.
Why did that happen?
No, he does kill him. Remember, he follows him up to the front of the house.
Right.
He rings his dad's doorbell.
Yeah, they managed to get away somehow. Then he follows Teddy to his house.
And then he kills Teddy.
And his dad.
Yeah,
who's the mayor of this town, who tried to bury all of this in the past, like we're looking forward to the future.
Yep.
And so, now they're dead too. There's a sequence where I want to say Ava and... Is it Stevie? Is it Ava and Stevie?
It's Ava and,
is it just Ava?
and
Ava,
Danica.
is it Milo at the... No.
What are you talking about?
Talking about when they go to the church.
Yeah, that's Danica.
Is
and
Danica
Ava.
there too? Yeah. So they go there to try to look in to find some dirt on this Judah guy.
Yeah, because they got a weird feeling about him.
Yeah, and they find out the car's linked to him. They go as far as to tell the police, "Hey, he's the killer. It's him."
Well, yeah,
with not a lot of evidence.
They find a book that has like a bunch of like cult-like stuff in
Yeah.
it, which didn't really go anywhere.
no,
but I
it
was
really
kind of
went
hoping
nowhere.
it would.
It was kind of weird.
But it does show Sam there. What they missed though is there's actually a picture on the wall of all of him and his friends, and Stevie is in that picture.
Yes. So now we have a picture that tells us there's a link between Stevie and Sam, who died that night.
Yep.
And she has just never brought this up once at all. Nobody knew about this.
No, of course.
And so the Judah is dead, by the way, because the police eventually finally go there after Teddy and his dad have been killed. They're like, "We're booking him. We're going to get this guy. Come on." They bring whole SWAT team formation. They go in there. It's actually, this is one part I did like a little bit.
I liked the
He's
look
in
of
a
this.
position where it looks like he's praying at the very, like the front of the church, and his back is to them. They go to see him. His eyes have been gouged out, and he's being held in place by like this big blade that has been stuck through him, I guess.
It was cool.
Cool.
Completely out of left field,
No,
though.
came out of
Like,
nowhere.
I kind of... Why? Also, who killed him?
Yeah, I assume.
I mean, there's definitely going to be
killer
a
that gets
sequel to
revealed.
this,
Yeah.
right? Because... we'll get over that.
Well, I mean, I guess if it was Judah's car that Sam... I don't fucking know. So anyway, fast forward now. They're on a boat. It is Danica with Ava.
Yeah, and they sneak onto this boat because
Yes.
it's a yacht. Please get it
Oh,
right.
it's the two of them with Stevie. So it's the three. All three of them are there.
They're going to find Teddy on this yacht.
No, I think they know
Teddy's dead.
They know Teddy's dead. They're just trying to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, right. They're just escaping.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to escape. And then, what do you know? It's just the three of them on this boat. They're so sure about it. And then the killer comes onto the boat again. And it's like, hold on. Danica's here. Ava's here. So that must mean the killer is, you guessed it, it's Stevie.
Steve-O.
Who apparently was dating Sam.
Yes.
After she had gotten out of rehab, I guess he was there for her, kind of helped her get her life back together. She didn't know that when he died, because obviously it wasn't his car that he was driving. And so later on, she found out because of their negligence and, it's their fault that like the love of her life, I guess, died.
Yeah.
And so she's taking out vengeance.
He was coming up there to get her because he was worried
Yes.
she was having a relapse.
Yeah, so
she feels responsible. Okay, so I actually do like this. I like the concept that she is responsible in a sense for his death.
Yes.
She feels guilty, so she starts to kill anyone.
Yeah.
The problem is it was so convoluted to get to this
it took
point.
so long.
And I wish it was just that.
Yeah, because she even talked about, she's like, after finding out what we had done, what I had done, I thought about killing myself. And then she just kind of cracks and she's like, but I thought it'd be more fun to just kill all of you instead. Which
I mean, gotta work.
really wish. I will say, we haven't mentioned this much in all of the kill sequences. We haven't really talked much about the kills
because they sucked. I hated them.
They weren't that memorable.
They were so boring.
Yeah, but however, the rain slicker killer is kind of aura farming through the whole thing because all they do is these heavy footsteps slowly walk throughout. They're a pretty big like force to be reckoned with. I thought they were pretty like threatening and like kind of a scary thing. As soon as she takes off the mask and is just ranting about her motives, like. Not threatening even slightly.
No, and we didn't get enough of Stevie's character beforehand to appreciate the switch.
Yes.
Like, because for the good majority of the movie, she's just not there. She doesn't talk. She doesn't participate.
Yeah,
she's just kind of there
pedestrian
hanging
the whole
out.
time.
And then all of a sudden, she's trying to give this crazy monologue. Doesn't really work.
She lost me there. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not with you on this one.
No.
I really can't get behind you on this.
So anyway, then she stabs Danica, throws her overboard, and then
who's that to the rescue?
Who's that? It's
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Ray is his name, and he shoots. And he shoots Stevie 3 times. Stevie falls to her death.
And they know each other well, right? Like, he's kind of the one who also, like, after she got out of rehab, he helped her get a job at his bar. He, like, kind of, he looks after her. And so it's hard for him to be like, you don't need to do this. You could be better than this. And she's still going crazy. So it's like, pow, you're dead. Sorry about it.
Now knowing that they were a team working together.
What?
Spoilers!
What happened?
So then we find out that Freddie Prinze Jr. Ray is actually behind half the killings.
Yep.
He's been working with Stevie to kill people. So Julie,
Jennifer Love
Hewitt's character, all of a sudden just like has this realization, which is crazy.
Yeah, I do not understand. She's like looking at news articles about it, and then she's like, wait a minute, Stevie works with Ray. So that means, oh my God. And then she leaves to go to his bar because somehow she pieced it together.
I felt like that was filmed 3 months later.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they were
like,
like, shit, we forgot.
We forgot to
improve and show how that she ends up there at the end.
But yeah, so Freddie Prinze Jr., Ray, has Ava now, the only survivor at this point, has her at his bar. She's locked in, and then it's revealed, oops, I'm the killer, sorry. Because there was a moment way earlier in the movie where she does slash the killer on his arm.
Yeah.
And she notices his arm is bandaged up in the exact same place. And then he's like, oh, so you know I'm the killer. Guess I got to kill you now.
Yeah, which is crazy. He just turns the corner and he's like, well, I guess you figured it out.
Yeah, he's like, so how did you know I was the killer? And both of us are like, well, you just said
told
it,
her.
so I guess that's exactly how we know. But so while he is attacking her, then Jennifer Love Hewitt's character shows up there to try to stop him, and then the movie cut to black because it stopped in our theater.
Yeah, I got a couple more lines of dialogue.
Oh,
though.
please.
So Ava, when she's getting attacked by Stevie, she goes, "You're a crazy psycho bitch," and then Stevie responds with, "You shouldn't call me crazy, Ava. It's so reductive. A strong, empowered woman takes control of her destiny, and suddenly she's labeled as crazy. Now, are you going to keep interrupting me, or are you going to let me fucking finish?"
It's just like, I don't have a problem with what you're saying, I guess, but it's just the way you're going about saying this in this moment. Like, shut up. What are you talking about?
So there's also a line where they meet up with Jennifer Love Hewitt's character. She's like teaching a class on PTSD.
Yeah.
And they tell her that they're being chased by someone, and she's like, "All right, well, I just have one question. What did you do last summer?"
Oh, and that was another, like, camera zooms into her face a little bit. There's kind of triumphant music behind it. It felt like it was an Avengers movie, and I didn't like that. What did you do last summer?
In the scene where Teddy and Ava, it's Teddy and Ava, right? When they're walking in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're walking into the cemetery, they walk in, they see someone named Barry Cox. Like,
and he laughs at it.
No, he says, buried with a big old Cox.
And, like, I was immediately like, oh my God, that's so goddamn stupid. But then Derek was like, I don't know, that's something I would actually say.
It pissed me off because I would make that joke. Don't put it in a movie, though.
No.
Just because I would say it, it doesn't mean it's funny.
I certainly don't think it belongs in a movie setting, but it is kind of funny to me to see like quite realistic dialogue. I'm like, shit, that's probably something I would say were I like kind of in a scary situation in a cemetery.
So there's also a scene in the cemetery where randomly there's two people drinking beer.
Why?
Like toasting a grave, which is cute, but it's like
of course.
the middle of the night and there's just two random people there. Teddy walks past them and he goes, hey, you have an extra beer? Ah, never mind. And then they get up and leave.
So there was absolutely no purpose to have the two of those characters there.
So pointless.
Unless they were some, I don't know, maybe the director's kids or something. I have no idea, but it's just like that did not need to happen.
No.
But so going back to Freddie Prinze Jr. with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ava, they're all there. It's the death of every villain, every slasher, every character when they're high and mighty. They think they're going to win the day. He does not fully kill Ava. He stabs her in the back with a knife, but she's not dead yet. He's sitting here monologuing, and that's the death of every iconic villain like this. They monologue and it gives the hero
an iconic villain.
Yeah. No, he's not. But it gives the hero enough time to muster the strength to then kill them while they are monologuing, and that's exactly what happens. While he's sitting there monologuing to Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ava takes the same harpoon gun, shoots him straight through the chest, and he's dead. KO.
And that's it. Basically, now all of a sudden they look like they're getting
an epilogue.
Now they looks like they're getting out of a psychiatric hospital, but it's actually just a normal hospital.
Yeah.
They sit down. They're like having mimosas. They're like, "Fuck the 4th of July." They say some other line that are from Seth Loves, but I cannot remember what it was.
This whole sequence is like so. The dialogue is so strange between the two of them.
Oh my God. And then they literally say, I forgot to tell you, Ava says to Danica, I forgot to tell you, Stevie's alive. And then Danica's like, what the fuck? Should we kill her? Ava, I mean, that's excessive, but yeah.
Okay. They're just having very weird, awkward conversation at the very end of it.
That the villain of your movie is alive.
Yeah. But they have a lot, like much more corny lines too, where they're like, they've been thinking about this. This all would have been solved if men just went to therapy.
Oh my God!
Which, again, I'm like, I back what you're saying. I agree with that, but the way you're saying it in this context just sounds obnoxious. But then there's another line that our friend Seth was going crazy about. That's like, well, I guess you could say the divas are up or something like that. It's because they refer to themselves as divas. Like, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb, but that's pretty much
the movie.
That's how the movie ends, and that's it. We did it. We're done. That's how. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
There is a
after credits
scene where Julie receives a note that says it isn't over.
Yeah,
and she goes to another character from the other movies.
Hold up.
Says that she'll help her find.
Hold up. We gotta backtrack.
What?
Most of these cameos did not work for me. However, Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it and has probably the best performance in the movie for the very short scene she's in.
For some reason, Danica has a dream sequence.
A nightmare of sorts.
A nightmare where she has this like Twin Peaks style dream where she meets with Sarah Michelle Gellar's
as
character.
She's like winning prom queen.
Yeah. And honestly, like that dialogue kind of worked for me.
It really worked for me, actually, because again, I haven't seen the original ones. I'm going to assume Sarah Michelle Gellar was the killer in this because she was definitely giving serial killer vibes.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
So Danica walks into this dream and she's like, hey, you're that girl from the picture. I have a name. You're Helen Shivers. Don't you fucking forget that.
But again, and I think maybe it's just because like Sarah Michelle Gellar just giving great performance, it worked for me. That was like the campiest the movie felt, and like really everything about this dream sequence really worked for me.
Because I love Sarah Michelle Gellar
and
so
she's
much.
wonderful, and she looks gorgeous also. Good Lord, has not aged a day.
No. It's that Vampire Slayer magic.
That's true. It really gets you when you're Buffy. You sign a deal with the devil.
You get a little Buffy,
looking gorgeous forever. But I really enjoyed the sequence a lot, and she was like definitely kind of like antagonizing her a little bit, kind of creeping her out. She was wielding this hook to her.
Yeah.
But like I just really liked that sequence.
Me too. I forgot about it. It's unfortunate because it was probably the best part of the movie.
Probably the best part of the movie for sure.
Which is
But so Sarah Michelle Gellar's character is dead within the mythos of this, so they found a way to kind of bring her back for one more cameo.
Wild.
Anyway, so that's I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Let's talk about our expectations.
Let's do it.
My first one was I'm not going to enjoy this one. And I just said I did indeed not enjoy this one.
All the kills will be all hook, no fun. Really, really boring kills.
Yeah.
Nothing fun or unique. Everything was just bland and forgettable.
Yeah. I said dialogue will be despicable. In some regards, it was the best part because it was so rough.
Yeah. Corny dialogue. Are you an egg, Milo?
Are you an egg, Milo?
Are you an egg, Milo?
I said 0 interesting kills, and we mostly just saw the aftermath of the kills and not much of the actual kills, which, again, those didn't look terrible. Like, there was one bit where they had Teddy and his dad strung up at, like, the harbor.
That looked
the
good.
pier. Like there were sharks on display.
Yeah,
like, that was pretty gnarly. So, like, there were some... They looked really good, but yeah, we didn't really get a lot of, like, actual interesting kills themselves.
Yeah. Terrible pacing. It wasn't actually bad. There was just a lot of moments that didn't really feel cohesive, and it did move, I would say, fairly well. I would say that expectation didn't hold true. So
yeah. I said too much studio polish to even make it a fun, like, bad slasher, right?
Yeah.
And I really do think it would have been more enjoyable if it looked worse and had less money, honestly. I think that would really aid to this movie.
That breeds creativity,
honestly,
man.
and, like, that's what made the old slashers work so well in some regards. I really feel that way. So yeah, it feels just too neat, too clean, too polished, too studio everything for it to, like, really work for me.
Acting that makes me want to quit watching movies. I feel like even if the actors did know what they were doing here, which they probably did, there's a lot of seasoned actors here, the production team made them fail.
Yeah,
like, I feel like the director, because even, like, Jennifer Love Hewitt is a seasoned actor at this point, and she was just bad.
Kind of just
she
dull.
was so bad.
Yeah. I said the cameos won't be much fun, and I didn't see the original, so it's hard for me to say personally. Maybe they would have worked more if I had, but I think, like I just barely mentioned, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar had the most fun time with this, and, like, even though her sequence was so short, I really enjoyed her place in this. Absolutely. I was pretty shocked at how much the other two were a part of the movie.
I mean, specifically Freddie Prinze Jr. The other lady wasn't.
Jennifer Love Hewitt kind of took a back seat for a long portion of the movie.
Forced throwbacks to the original films. It didn't really bother me too much, but mostly because it wasn't that much, and also my lack of the originals didn't leave me invested in it at all.
Surprise! Surprises! My surprises was that the dialogue looped back around by being so bad it became enjoyable. I think that was probably some of the most enjoyable parts of the movie, was laughing at how bad that was. The main premise was dumb. I didn't like them doing the same shtick of, like, oh, we accidentally made this dude drive off the road and die, and now we need to hide away and never tell the police, and, like, it just didn't work for me. I didn't like that. The killer reveal had zero aura, honestly. Before she took off the mask, it was a fairly menacing villain that I was on board with, but Stevie's performance was just so unthreatening. I just really didn't like it. I think the divas are up was a dumb line. It was so stupid in regards to all the rest of the dialogue. I mean, I was surprised by more awful depictions of podcasters. We're never going to beat these allegations. We're just going to live cringe forever. The cameo people served larger roles than I was expecting, like we just barely mentioned. Again, more Freddie Prinze Jr. was in a lot more of the movie.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere that it was like Jennifer Love Hewitt kind of made it a point to be like, if you're going to bring me back, like, 27 years later, whatever she was saying, it's like, I need to, have a bit more of a substantial, like, don't put me in the movie for, like, 5 minutes. And she didn't really have that much more than that, but still. And then I just said, I didn't really care for anybody in the movie. Like, I didn't mind if any of them died. Like, I didn't really love any of them. I didn't root for any of them.
The movie ended 5 minutes early for us, and I'm surprised that I didn't even care.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I was just like, okay.
Truly, I was not like, oh, bummer. I was on the edge of my seat.
I got edged by a movie, and I guess that might be my bad horror movie kink. Because I was like,
I got edged by this movie, and all I got was this stupid shirt.
I was really surprised at how boring the kills were, because it's like, this is a legendary franchise. Like, I'm not saying that these movies are good necessarily. Again, haven't seen them. But, like, it is a known franchise. You would think that the kills would be more memorable. That's basically all you got. I agree with you on most of them.
So it is time for our verdicts. For me, I'm actually going to go with a new one I came up with in the middle of this episode. I'm going to say, I've seen that beforeable.
Ooh, I like that.
That's kind of what I'm going to say here.
Mine was, that was unoriginable.
Okay. So, like, similar vibes here for sure.
Similar, but same. Different.
So I said this one was pretty much a dud all the way around for me. I think the original came out at a very different time for the slasher genre, and it really worked worked there. Not only do I think we aren't ready for it, but I also think it missed all of what makes a good slasher in the first place. I think it missed a lot of the important beats there, and it just really didn't work for me. The stakes felt really low, and I didn't really mind if any of our leading characters were caught on the hook, And I think it was just refeeding us a lot of the same stuff, a lot of nostalgia bait with the cameos and stuff like that, but like nothing new was said here, nothing original and fun was had. So honestly, I might go back to the Twisted Childhood universe and ask Peter Pan to take his hook back.
Wah, wah. Take his hook back. Funny. I wrote my shortest verdict ever.
Oh.
That was unoriginal. I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer is the type of movie that in a year I'll have forgotten what I did last summer.
That's good. Yeah, that is good. That is very good, Derek. You know what I say. I know that you
bug-eyed.
I know that you bled last summer. Remember? Because I bit you that time and you bled. I remember that.
I've known you for like 3 years.
We've known each other a long time, Derek. We go long ways back.
Crazy.
Yeah, no. Do you remember last summer, Derek? You remember last summer?
I'll just say your trivia.
Oh, okay. It's fine. No, thank you, trivia.
No, I like your bit.
No, I was going to talk about our great times with the blood martinis. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Blartinis? Paul Blartini? Mall cop?
Paul Pop Blop Mop Cop.
Oh my God.
Trivia. We got some trivia for you. Writer-director Jennifer Caton Robinson couldn't bring Sarah Michelle Gellar's Helen Shivers back to life for the sequel. In a conversation with Entertainment Weekly, Robinson said she tried relentlessly to fit Gellar into the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. Her efforts were for naught because Robinson could not maneuver around the fact that Helen Shivers died. She says in a quote, "I tried, okay? I harassed her, but she is dead." Robinson said, "I tried to pitch some crazy shit too. I was like, what if it's like you weren't dead and you were actually alive but in hiding?" And then Sarah was like, "I was on ice. I was the most dead a person could be. You can see my frozen body." And she was like, "Yeah, but what if?" And then Sarah Michelle Gellar responds, "I am dead. I am Sarah Dead Gellar." That's what she said. So they ended up finding a workaround for it. But yeah, she really tried to reanimate her in some regards in this movie, which honestly, I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad it didn't take that route. Fun fact also about Sarah Michelle Gellar, the house where Julie lives, that's Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, the house where Julie lives is Buffy Summers' house in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What? Really?
Isn't that nuts?
That's amazing.
I guess so, yeah. Jennifer Love Hewitt said that her and Freddie Prinze Jr. were called the old ones on the set.
Oh my God.
Which I'm sure that didn't feel so great. And then we already mentioned this earlier, but at one point, Teddy tells the group not to go all Scooby-Doo. Two of the actors, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, were in the Scooby-Doo movies. So
incredible.
That is our trivia. Derek, we finished it. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward.
Yeah.
Onto bigger and better things, right? And it's
no, we're going down in
we're
quality.
Super going down. We went from a 36% with this one to our next movie, also released in 2025,
0%, dog. Listen, okay, this is War of the Worlds.
It's a bad movie,
and it stars Ice Cube, and apparently the entire thing takes place on a computer screen. I like the idea of this.
It has happened before. It has worked.
Well, it has happened before and has worked, but also. The original, War of the Worlds is known for being played on radio broadcasts, and people thought it was real. So, transcending mediums is the thing that H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds is known for.
I can appreciate that from that standpoint.
I got excited when I heard the concept of this movie, then I saw the reviews.
I've seen reviews. I've seen clips of this movie. I am not looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
So let's give you a brief synopsis of War of the Worlds 2025. A computer security analyst played by Ice Cube, that's right, you heard it, Ice Cube, working for the U.S. government, finds his daily life disrupted by an alien attack. Accustomed to dealing with virtual threats, his struggle extends to secrets the government may be hiding.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm not looking, guys. I don't. It's gonna be a rough time. It's gonna be a hard time. But that is us, and that was horrible for this week. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Before we head out, we must give you your Garfield horoscope for the week. You've waited so patiently, or maybe you skipped right to the end, and if you did, hi, it's good to see you. Welcome to your favorite bit of the podcast, or maybe you're skipping this one. Who knows? But anyway, we've got another one here. Derek, we've got a Garfield comic released today in August of 2025. We see Garfield cuddling up with his favorite little teddy bear. We've seen it a couple times now. Odie comes in, rips the blanket off of Garfield, smacks the teddy bear out of his hand, and then replaces himself in the position of the teddy bear. So now Garfield is holding him.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you this week?
I think I'm the teddy bear.
Okay. I'm Odie.
So the teddy bear is lifeless, and he just gets replaced.
He's a bystander.
But if you look at the final panel,
right
you
there
see
in the corner.
that the teddy bear has made a new home for himself in the blanket. He's looking cozy. So what this shows me is if maybe you get displaced from your life, maybe you move on, maybe those around you move on, maybe you are in a different position, you gotta just find solace in where you're at. And if you don't like where you're at, move on. But you gotta just find a way to stay comfortable, stay calm, and proceed with life.
Yeah. And I say in Odie's regard, sometimes you were allowed to demand a bit of the things you deserve and you want at the time. These things like this blanket and this inanimate teddy bear, they're things that Garfield can have whenever, but Odie is here right now and he wants some love and affection, and I think Garfield does willingly give it to him, even though he's not super happy about it by the end. It's like your loved one is here right now. I can play with this teddy bear at some point. I can play this video game another time, like let's love each other,
Be good to
Demand
one another.
the love you deserve. Be good to one another. Be kind to one another.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. Now, before we move away from this, Derek,
What?
I discovered something today.
What?
Scroll down on this page. There are comments on these.
Oh my God.
Yeah. For instance, someone named Smeagol 4 hours ago says, "All right, Odie." Some of them say, Odie should know better than to get between Garfield and his Pookie. Like, these are so funny.
Grasshopper says, What's got into Odie? Pretty gutsy little guy, LOL. Poor Pookie, but he did land okay. Hey, Jim, love the title panel.
Super Big Farty Party says, Odie is in the perfect position to be thrown, Garfield.
This
He's
is
just
crazy.
Like, go get him.
I imagine that this is all like 80-year-old
I think someone is a little
grandpas.
jealous. Like, it's so funny. Like, there are quite a few comments on these. These have to be like 60-year-olds loving these Garfield comics, and I love this.
Someone's like posting memes. This is wild.
It's so crazy. But yeah, so I just wanted to. So now from here on out, I might go to check these out just because I'm like, these kind of warm my heart in a weird way.
For sure.
Odie needs hugs too. Aw, be nice to him for once. It's cute. It's fun.
That's nice.
But that is us on our social media or on our podcast. You can find us on social medias where you can also leave us fun comments on things. To that effect, also, if you like this podcast and enjoy your time here, come back to us on a bi-weekly basis, leave us a review.
Yeah,
like we haven't
please.
mentioned that like at all, because like reviews really help us get out there and get into other people's algorithms and stuff, get us found by more listeners and stuff like that. So yeah,
For sure.
if you would take the time, give us a little bit of a review, preferably a very kind one, but be honest, be yourself, whatever you want. But you can find us on our social medias. We are on Instagram at _was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, YouTube at That Was Horrible, and TikTok at That Was Horrible.
That was horrible.
Now we're gonna go draw up our designs for Mr. Krabs Edge Park.
I'm gonna go edge Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a pleasure as always. Garfield, be with you.
Stay
spooky.
Goodbye.